Hi, Cindy. This is Ann Kullberg, and I want to thank you for wanting to hear my take on your piece that we selected for Hidden Treasures, CP Hidden Treasures. And this is a really pretty large piece, 14 by 10, and it's called The Eyes Have It. So I think it's an interesting crop. I mean, it certainly gets your attention, and I'm not sure I've seen this particular sort of, a lot of times you see a cat's close-up, but it's more of a square format. This vertical format is a little bit interesting and different. And it's sort of interesting to me that even though it's entitled The Eyes Have It, you've cut off the eyes. I mean, you haven't cut off the nose or the mouth, that the eyes are both cut off on either side, which I find kind of interesting. But I kind of get you didn't want anything underneath the mouth, and so that was the way to do it. You know, we can't have triangle-sized artwork, can we? Why can't we? I wonder if it has something to do with framing. Anyway, all right, so I like this piece quite a bit. It's what I would call a primitive piece, like sort of a little bit of a Grandma Moses treatment, because it's quite flat. I mean, you have a wonderfully wide range of values from very light in your highlight to very dark, but all of the edges are hard. Like there's no soft blending at all. There's no turning of things by the gradual, you know, for instance, if this were going to become round, this little muzzle part, I don't know the names of cat parts, but this would be, if the light were coming toward the cat, this would be the lightest section. In fact, there'd probably be a highlight through here that was kind of curved. And then this would gradually get darker and darker and darker, and that would turn it and give us a feeling of depth. But because your values are exactly the same here to here to here in the fur, it looks flat. So, but I like it. I really like this area. I like the way you've paid close attention to the direction of the fur, and we see the strokes, and the colors through here are especially pleasing. The warm golden yellows and oranges and browns, and a nice mix, a nice variegation there. You know, and again, the flatness, the highlights would probably in real life, I don't think there are any hard edges on living things, animals and humans, I really mean, because there are plenty of hard edges in plants. But yeah, so I kind of doubt that that this edge would have been this hard. And you know, if you had taken, say, a white pencil and pushed very hard right along the edge, that would have given that a little more of a glow, a softer edge. But it's not what you're doing in the rest of the piece. So you're very consistent. The style is very consistent. I think that you can be happy with this. It's a nice piece. I think the nose is possibly the least successful element of the piece. It feels like there should be a little more detail. Something is missing. Also, the two nostrils are quite a bit different in size, and that seems a little off. Like, I think that most animals have more symmetry than that. You could, if you were going to be really picky, you could say the same thing for the nose, the mouth, sorry, that from the middle, this is longer than this. Now, possibly this is under fur, but it doesn't really look like it. It just looks like it got suddenly quite short. So you do want to kind of watch dimensions of symmetry when you're doing something so close up. Whiskers also seem a little skinny for this close up of a piece. It looks like you might have scratched them in, and yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. And a couple of them are quite nice. These two down here are quite nice. The rest of them are a little bit awkward, like they're too thin, and then they're just not sort of elegant. They're not comfortable. They're a little bit, they get jagged and have corners. And so use your wrist when you're doing curved things. So if you're not your fingers, so you can do a curve with your fingers, but it's not very natural for your fingers to move that way, whereas the wrist wants to move exactly that way. So hold your slice tool or your X-Acto, in your hand, and then make the motion with your wrist. And I would have made them a little thicker. I think it'd be a little more believable. But yes, it's a nice piece, Cindy, and we're happy to include it in CP Hidden Treasures, and I hope that was a little illuminating. All right, thanks, Cindy. Bye-bye.